Uh, my goodness, what was that?
That, my girl, is the call bell. That's the signal from the main dining room. Mrs. Paget must need me. You just keep on stirring that pot till I get back, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted to see me, Mrs. Paget.
Oh, there you are. Mr. Paget just informed me that Miss Laney and Mr. Brewster are having guests come down from New York this afternoon. Now, I know you're training up a new girl in the kitchen, but we need to have something special for lunch. And then later this afternoon, we'll talk about what the supper menu will be.
Well, yes, Mrs. Paget, I'll have everything ready and under control, just as always.
Just as always, I knew that you would.
This your scrapbook, Mrs. Paget?
Why, yes, it is. As a matter of fact, when Mr. Paget and I first started at DeBary Hall, that was back when Mr. Adolph inherited it from his father. Oh, look here. I even have a picture of you.
Oh, my. That girl can't be me. She's too thin to be the cook. Oh, my. Well, I best be getting back to the new girl before she gets herself into some kind of mischief.
All right, well, I'll be checking on you girls in the kitchen in a few minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Now, where is Arthur with that milk? You know, he knows we stop fixing lunch every day at this time. Well, never mind about that. Now, as I was saying, here in DeBary, we rise with the sun. On the days that you're helping me here in the kitchen, you'll be fetching the coal and getting the stove ready. And don't forget to open up the flue. Gotta have air to get the fire going. Now, you'll be adding kindling and hardwood with the tongs, and watch for those embers to get red. Then you keep piling on the coal until it won't hold no more.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and don't forget at night to bank it so that we'll have embers in the morning.
Yes.
You got that?
Yes, ma'am. What about when I'm not helping you in the kitchen?
Well, I suppose you'll be doing whatever Mrs. Paget has you doing. I mean, we have guests coming and going every day all the time down here, so I imagine you'll be fixing up the beds and tidying and airing out the rooms.
What about Miss Laney?
Well, what we need to worry about right now is fixing lunch. Mr. Paget's always bragging about my fried chicken to Miss Laney's friends. But Landis and Davy caught some fresh fish from the creek this morning. You know, where is Arthur with that milk? If he's off lollygagging somewhere, I'll tell you.
Oh, so it's a quail hunt today?
Yes, sir.
Is that my morning milk going sour in the morning sun? Arthur Thompson, sometimes I think you ain't got brains God gave a chicken.
Oh, speaking of chickens, you need to get the chickens fried for lunch at 1 o'clock.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Paget. Actually, Landis and Davy caught up some fresh fish from the creek this morning. I can fry them up as well.
I'm thinking Mr. Paget loves your fried chicken. But me and the boys, we can go for a fish fry. You toss in some of your special taters, maybe a few collard greens, and a little corn on the cob.
Never you mind what I make for lunch. I'll cook it and you'll eat it. Now, give me my milk. I've got work to do.
Yes, sir.
Oh, help! Help me!
Oh, my Lord, what has she gotten into?
I think I added too much.
You think? How much did you add?
The whole sack?
The whole sack. Well, the recipe calls for a whole cup, not the whole sack.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm used to doing laundry, making beds and tidying up and such. I'm not a good cook, but I'm really good at house cleaning. I'm just not much of a cook.
Never mind about that. Let's get this mess cleaned up. I'll get started on lunch, and then we'll send you up to start on the bedrooms. But mark my words, girl, before the end of this, I'm gonna teach you how to cook.
You're not gonna throw me out?
Well, let's just hope your bed making's better than your grip making.
Oh, and I was thinking we need some bottles of ale on the table for supper and some also Apollinaris bottled water. For heaven's sakes, what happened here?
Too much seasoning, nothing to worry about. I'll have that ale and bottled water, Mrs. Paget.
Oh, that's Miss Laney's and Mr. Brewster's friends coming in on the steamboat. Let's go to the front porch and watch them dock. Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Too much seasoning?
Well, it takes some time getting used to cooking at DeBary.
Of course it does. I remember your first day. Too much seasoning, too. Ah, I just love watching the steamships come in.
It is beautiful.
I'll say.